Hello, good afternoon. Hi, Brenda.
Hi,
Have you taken your
Lillian. Hi,
lunch?
everyone. Going to?
Going to, yeah. This is our lunchtime talk show.
Yeah.
So welcome back
Everyone should be
to,
taking their lunch.
yeah. Yeah, so this is our Voices of Courage Asia. So we are still at the Courage to Be You series, but we
Mm.
have taken a little bit of twist, moving into a mini series because in our journey of taking the courage to be you, especially women, we will naturally move into this season where quite a number of us, will choose to become a mother, right? You enter into
Yes,
motherhood. So that's where parenting is a topic that we cannot ignore, and that falls under the pillar in the courage blueprint of a relationship. So I think last episode we talked about your relationship with our children, right?
yes.
Yeah, how we view relationship as our treasure, one of our treasure, as well as the how do we treasure this relationship in particularly to our children, and how do you spend the quality time with them, remember? Yeah.
Yes. We
So
were
what are
touching
some of your
on this
thoughts about
treasure.
quality time with your children? How do you remember, how do you spend quality time
Yes,
with your
yes. I definitely remember,
children?
especially when they were much younger, because that is the time where they are really with you day and night. Slowly as they goes into primary school, yes, you realize that yeah, sometimes can I have my own time, right? We want to have our own me time, right? And then as they go to secondary school or tertiary, then you realize that hey, where are you? You know, keep chasing them back. So I think it's a different stages that we spend time with our children. So the word quality really is like what is quality and what is quantity, how to measure between quantity and quality, right, Lillian? I
Yeah,
think those of us who have children who pass that, secondary school age, poly, we have already experienced what is quality and what is quantity.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
yeah, so before we proceed, we just want to introduce ourselves first also. For those of you who are watching with us for the very first time, yeah, my name is Lillian. I'm founder of Class Living as well as Women of Courage Asia. And, we are providing this platform to inspire and equip, our audience out all the audience out here, with taking the courage to be you, in developing yourself. And with me is Brenda. So, Brenda, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, my name is Brenda. For those who are first time, I'm an education coach in my chance for the last 14 years, a parenting coach as I was a facilitator in Focus on the Family. And with that, I'm also a co-founder together with Lillian for Class Living as well as Uma Courage Asia. So
Yeah.
it has been a great journey with Lillian, learned so much and inspired by her. And today, pushing me out to be here together with her
Yeah.
is actually a very big step for me. Yeah. So all
Yes.
thanks to Lillian and the group of women that has been with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must really acknowledge Brenda because, yeah, like what she said, this is her first time anchoring a series, for this channel.
Yeah.
So we have 12 episodes, right? You have this
Yes. 12
12
episode.
episodes. Yeah. And we will be covering different milestones of our children, their
Mm.
developmental milestones and all that. Because Brenda has her expertise is in education. She has been in the education industry for many, many years. So yes, thanks for taking the courage to step up and step out. Right,
Uh,
to share your
yeah.
wisdom, your experiences with our
Yeah.
audience out
Humble,
there.
humble sharing of what I know. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
today, our focus is on preschoolers, right?
Mm.
The
Yes.
developmental milestones. So just now we mentioned a little bit about how we spend a quality time with our kids when they were younger, because both our kids are now young adults.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe I
Yeah, that's
share a
why I was
little bit
asking,
what
can
I
you
did.
remember?
Maybe I share a little bit of what I used to do with the children when they were
Mm,
younger. We always have this daddy's and mommy's time. despite whatever that we are going through, like a daily routine, or bring them to the beach on weekend, whatever, I always treasure this daddy's and mommy's time, which it is one of my parenting tips that I always share with my Chan parents.
Right.
At all circumstances, I think we need to have a standalone daddy's time or mommy's time with one of our child. So what we did was, when I had two initially, I have three now. So initially we had two, so we can actually each week, right, spend half an hour to 1 hour, just let's say daddy take the elder one and then I take the second one, and then we interchange the following week. So when they were younger, right, a half an hour at the playground or going to McDonald's seems like, wow, such a big
Very
thing to
personal.
yes. Then slowly we'll ask them where they want to go, or a swimming in time, just for 2 hours. So very personal. Talk about anything else under the sun except homework. Yeah, seriously, this is very important. A lot of time when we spend quality time, we may be talking about academy, which is something that I keep constantly reminding myself and my hubby that no, we don't talk about homework at all. We just let them talk about their friends, everything. Especially at preschool years, they will just talk about their friend. Yes, they may talk about school, and eventually when they go to primary school, it is really strictly no talking about studies or exam. Just talking, let them share whatever they want. So that is the daddy's and mommy's time. So slowly, when they go to primary school, secondary school, that is where we realized that there were a lot of time where we have conflicts already, especially secondary school. So I created this called Rooftop Talk. Rooftop Talk. Yeah.
Rooftop. Okay.
Yes. So we
Interesting.
don't want to do it at home. We purposely go above, the car park where there is a rooftop. So nobody actually park there. Not many cars will park there. So that is where the evening we just sit down there. We have our junk food, the tidbits or whatever. That is all the attraction for the children. Right? Or we just sit down there. Then we let them speak their heart out. What are they unhappy about us? And then what we can also share, what are we not happy about them? It's like you put all your conflicts over the weeks, come on Saturday night, and then we just let it go. No judgment, nothing to give excuse. No explanation. Why you are saying this about me? Are you attacking me? No. Okay, bear with it. So that is what, as parents, we have to put our pride down, really bear with it and say, okay, something will reflect. Yes, not necessarily 100% correct of what they are saying or what we are saying is correct 100%, because we are standing at different position with different perspective. Having said that, it helped us as parents to really reflect, and then after that we'll have a thought. Yeah, is it really that I'm like that? This is how our children see us, that kind of thing. So, but it's a really good reflection. So I treasure those moments that we had, the mummies and daddy's time, as well as rooftop talk.
Right. So you still have this this habit, this moments with your young adults now.
Young adults, what we do is that I had this graduation trip. Whenever they have a transition, example, like before they go to primary school, I had my personal trip with the child. And then after PSLE, after O-level, then after they graduate from poly or uni, whatever. So this is called the graduation trip. So I told my children, even before your marriage, mommy must have a trip with you. Why? Because this is a personal trip where we really can talk about anything. And the other thing that
And
when
it's
they
a one-to-one.
yes,
It's a one-to-one.
and you see, when they were younger, they only asked for McDonald's. So as they grow up, right, eventually they are asking for, more than that, Japanese restaurant, and then eventually trip. So
Right.
it's about the pocket lah. But then it is something that I think it's worth investing, because you really your relationship will be closer. As I shared last session, that relationship to me is very important. So that is the kind of investment that we are actually investing, rather than investing in something else. This is what to me is worth it, and I enjoy it. So as they turn into adulthood, right, there are also a lot of topics. So we actually have topic talks. That means during meal, we talk about topics that are very sensitive, that you find it very difficult to talk to them. So like
That's
smoking,
wonderful.
tattoos, so asking their view to know And then hearing from them, I tell you sometimes, it's really shocking. They are so open to it.
I think we can we have the opportunity to dive deeper into that, when
Yes,
we
but
come
I
to
tell you,
the
it's very
sensory
scary
and all that.
sometimes. It's very, very scary because then you
Yeah.
realize that they are so open. They are so influenced by the social media.
Mm-mm.
Seriously.
That's why it is very important that we focus on their preschool years,
Yes,
as we develop, right?
yes.
Yeah. Then you
The
come
value,
a long
yes,
way.
the values, yes.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that, I mean, for me personally, is the bedtime stories. Yeah, that is like, it's a must. Every
Yes,
night you must
yes,
have a bedtime stories. Otherwise, they can't
yes.
go to bed.
Yes, and that is where
And
the value is cultivated also, right? Yeah.
yes, yes. And the dating, but I'm not so. Probably I'm not so consistent in the mommy and daddy's time. We do have that. Yeah, we do make
Dating.
the effort to
Oh,
have
okay.
dates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I date with my son, and then I date with my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that our audience, you may want to consider
Mm.
to have this kind of what you call this, habits, or this
Yeah.
relationship
It
building and
must start
bonding
from
time.
preschool. You're right, Lillian. It really must start from preschool. That is where it becomes something that is so natural for them.
Mm.
Otherwise, the moment you step into tertiary, you step into teenage year. Trust me, even I've started that, I still have difficulty trying
Mm.
to get them back
Right.
because they are
So
very, very influenced. Yeah.
yeah. So talking about milestones, developmental milestones,
Mm.
that's where we want to, when we are spending quality time, spending time with our kids, that is where we begin to recognize or identify certain milestones in their strengths,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
everything about them, right? So
yes,
that brings us to our special guest today.
yes.
Yeah. So you have invited Regina Phang. So let's welcome Regina on board. Hi,
Hi,
Regina.
Regina.
Hi,
Hello.
Lilian. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for
Hi,
having me.
Welcome. Have you
welcome.
taken your lunch?
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
So
you did.
now here
Okay,
I
that's
am,
great.
all full.
Regina is
Okay.
the Deputy General Manager of My Chance of Allied Care. Yes,
Yes.
many out there, parents, you may not know that we have Allied Care in My Chance. So maybe Regina, would you like to just give a short introduction of yourself?
Sure. Thanks. Okay, so yes, I'm from MyChamp Allied Care. MyChamp Allied Care is a unit, right, that work with children with added needs. But it's a no label kind of environment, okay?
Mm,
Because the key point is to focus on what the child needs, what is the extra
okay.
support they deserve so that they
Mhm.
can thrive. Like we are basically working with children in like speech therapy, occupational therapy, behavioral management, as well as early intervention program, where
Mm.
children get their needs analyzed and their little top up given so that we could, let the child grow in the mainstream environment as much as possible. So that is what my share life care is about.
Mm,
Right, right. So I mean, especially I remember for myself when during the preschool years, right, is how I so-called support them in their learning process is through play. Yeah, it's like everything is about
Yes.
playing, and then through the play you teach them something, be it in, numbers or language or science or nature, whatever. It's always through play. Yeah, maybe because I'm also a very
Yes.
playful person. So
we are both very playful.
yeah. So
Yes, that's
how to
good.
tell if the children are actually learning well? You know, what are your thoughts about this?
Mm. Yep.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay, that is a very, very important question because we do hear it a lot of the time, right? Parents will sometimes pause to think, I have my child is in school. How do I know if she
Yes.
or she is learning well? Okay, I think it's important to take a look at what are the categories of learning, right? One big part that children is actually learning is social and emotional aspects. Okay, so those are a big area in preschool for them to learn to regulate their emotions, be able to socialize with others, things like that. So a general key sign I would say is that look for a general state of contentment and happiness, okay? In the sense that a child who has friends in school, a child who's able to socialize well, so they are learning well in the social environment, all right? If we say we look specifically in terms of like academic, okay, I would be a bit reluctant to use the word academic, because for preschooler, all that learning through play, we try to not, we try to see it in another angle, right? Yeah. Okay, but
Yes, yes.
nevertheless, yes, there is still school readiness preparation we are doing. And for that, I would say the key area to look at, right, is actually focus and ability to follow instructions. So these are very big area for preschooler to learn and to show that they are learning. Okay, it doesn't have to reflect into ability to learn very advanced skills, you know, like count 1 to 1,000, etc. It does not have to be very, very advanced skills, but there must be a fundamental ability to focus well and to be able to follow instruction well. All right. So being able to be in a group setting with their peers is a key sign of learning well. All right. I also noticed that a lot of time parents who may have small concerns about whether my child is learning well, they might think that, oh, I asked my kid, I said, what do you learn in school? And he told me nothing, or I don't know, right? It's very common. And then they panic. They say, oh my God, he's learning nothing. And I would share that a huge majority of children will give you the word nothing on a lot of times. It's not because they learn nothing. It's that their frame of mind by the time they meet you is no longer in school mode. Okay, it's no longer in learning mode. So they just give you an answer so they can move on to play, to start having other fun. All right. So or they might say, good. How did school go? Good. That's it. And parents will say, oh, he's not sharing, etc. It's fine. Use your observation in other areas. Okay. I would say a few key points is communication with teachers, right? That's the key one. But the key thing is also, what do you ask teacher, right? I think a lot of time I would advise that ask teacher questions like, how is he focusing? You know, how is he following instruction? How is his friendship in school? Does he have 2 or 3 good buddies he play with? Does he notice other children? Yeah. So those are very important points about learning well. All right. The other area would be that, you know, when you go and drop off your child, all right, you see some level of excitement. Of course, I will also caution that children do have separation anxiety, and even myself, up to K2, there are days where
I can identify with that.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. The admin in our preschool had to guide my child gently off my waist because he's holding on to me even at K2 level. It's fine. It's just expression of his love, his anxiety. It doesn't reflect that he's not learning, he's not happy in school. So we have to analyze every of their issue, what they are presenting, right, in context. Okay. So that is how he dropped off in school, and also how you pick him up. When you go and pick him up, he generally have a state of contentment, right? He comes, he's like, oh, bye, let's go home. And be a little assured, that day he had learned something. It may not be in your definition of learning, but in his world, everything counts, how to negotiate with a friend, how to tell somebody who stepped into a space that, I don't want you to do this. These are all also important learning, apart from so-called numeracy and literacy. Okay. So that would be what I would say, learning well.
Right.
Wow.
So to recap, that is ability to focus and also follow instructions, as well as a general state of contentment, right?
Yes.
And I think we have a friend who was saying who can resonate with this. She said, "Yeah, that's the answer we always get from asking our children." And
Julia from Blue Keyboard, and we have Ellie. Ellie, yes, good afternoon. Ellie, say good
Hi,
afternoon.
Ellie.
Ellie's from Bali. Yeah, Regina, I really can resonate with what you have shared. I remember as you were sharing, I remember when I sent my youngest son, Jonas, to school, the first day, I thought he was very cool because he just, bye, mommy. And I literally bye. But when I came back, I was told that he cried and vomited the whole day, waited for me for that half a day, the first day. And he was hugging his back and looked at nobody except the door. So I thought, then I felt very guilty that I think I make a mistake because I thought he was so cool. He just, bye, mommy. So okay, just go. And I didn't come back. So, so it really is how we pick out and we drop off that kind of mindsets that we should be having as a parent to
Yeah.
be very well, for the child to be very well prepared emotionally and social. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Yes,
the first day I sent my firstborn to preschool. I think he was only 3. That's before preschool, right? That's playgroup.
Playgroup, yes,
And
playgroup.
yeah, so he was perfectly fine the first day. But then
Okay.
the second day, oh, that's where all the crying begins. Yeah, but thankfully, the teachers there, the support system there was very good. So and he quickly was able to make friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
that helped to ease into
Yes, yes,
that transition into the schooling as
yes,
well.
yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And regarding asking them, how's the day and all that, for me, I usually don't take just good as the answer.
Oh no.
Yeah,
You
I will
go
probe.
deep.
I will
Oh,
probe. I will probe like, wow, good lah. How what do you do? What do you do? Like
Yes.
try to probe him to share a little bit more. Yeah, because good is what is good? Yeah. So I
yeah.
think
Yes.
that could be something that is worth trying out, like probing, exactly what you do was, or even suggest. I don't know whether suggestion be a good idea at this stage.
Yes, yes. I think some things that you could ask, right, is just you could just focus on example, give them boundaries to what to share. Like example, you can say, oh, how about you tell me 2 things that you love
Ah,
about being in
oh,
school today, right? So they know that when I share 2, it's over and I can go play or things like that. So
Okay.
they
ah,
actually are still trying to understand the meaning behind such conversation. And when you help them frame it with some definition like, oh, 2 happy things, okay, or it could be 2 high and 1 low, means that was that because we also want children to acknowledge that days can be have lows. It doesn't have to be high or true, right? That's normal.
Okay.
yep,
There's no
yep,
perfect day, all right. So you
yeah.
could share. Why don't you? I used to ask my children, could you share high, low, high? Means 2 high episode, 2 high moments, and 1 low moment. Some days they will say,
Mm,
but today is great. There's no low. Great.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
yeah,
great day then, right?
right.
So it's fine.
okay.
You could,
Wow.
you could probe,
Good
you could
tips.
probe.
Too
Sure.
high. Too high,
Too
Yeah,
high,
one
one
low.
low.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
note of that. That's a great
Yeah.
tip. 2 highs
Too
and
high,
1 low.
one low.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think can progressively. If like you can always start with just one, right? One, and then
Sure. Sure.
progressively. Yeah,
Yes. You take it along. Yes.
yeah.
Correct.
How about like what are some of the red flags that we should watch
Mm.
out for in this very
Yeah. As parents, what should they
sensitive,
watch out
very
for?
vulnerable years, right? The beginning years.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay. Red flag wise, right? I would once again share in the categories, right? Like I think the first, actually most important part is actually emotional and social development. Okay, it is a red flag if by the time your child is in like 3 or 4, you notice that there is very little social interaction or noticing other children. A lot of time the red flag is that the child only interact with an adult. Okay, not peers.
Okay.
That is a red flag. A child is designed to interact with other friends. All right. So
Mm.
when they can't, there is actually hidden reason behind that and needs investigation. All right. Needs to understand the brain development and all. All right. So one is
Okay.
socialization. The other ones is things like social communication, which also links to speech development. How is your child able to express themselves? How is your child able to understand instructions? This, if they are obviously having poor ability in those areas or what you will see as a delayed ability, right? You must seek help early because these are areas that early intervention, high quality early intervention makes a world of a difference. I cannot emphasize enough that it makes a world of a difference versus you went for it later. All right. The brain is most plastic and moldable in the first 6, 7 years from birth. All right. So which is early intervention golden window period. So those are 2. As for learning wise, right, it will be like focus. If your child has significantly difficulty in focusing in class, yeah, teacher frequently feedback running in the background, or like could only do tabletop work for less than a minute, even at 3 years or 4 years old. Those are actually signs of red flag. All right. Ability to follow instructions also. So if they are sitting in a group and everyone has a joint attention to like say storybook time, look at the storybook, and your child is let's say unable to do that, spinning around or moving on to his or her own agenda of what they want to do, that is a red flag that deserves to be assessed and understand what help should be given. Okay.
Interesting.
If they are a bit
Before you,
yeah, if they are slightly
Regina,
older,
before you move on, I just want to interject on that point. Yeah, because there are different. I mean, every individual is very different, right? So we respond very differently in different circumstances and environment, and we have different learning styles. Like I interject this
yes,
part here because I'm very kinesthetic learner, so I cannot sit still. Even when I'm a
yes,
younger, even into adulthood, I cannot sit still for long. I will fidget,
yes,
I need to move, I need to spin the pen. I need to, yeah. And like you mentioned,
yes, yes.
if the teacher is
Those are
telling the
fine.
stories and all that, I won't be sitting down paying attention. I can be at the background, pacing, all right, but I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yes, I
Yeah.
hear you.
So how do you
Yes.
so how do you like just now you say like when you notice this it could be a red flag, but
Mm.
yeah,
So what is
I'm
serious
curious.
enough, right?
Sorry?
Yes, yes. Good point. Okay. I guess you are saying that what level of it is actually is serious enough to warrant a further look,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes,
Right. Okay. I would advise, right, at this in this current state of like in this society, it's best, right, to err on the side of caution. Means that, right, if there is consistent pattern of this side of inability to focus or pay attention across all settings, that means school, enrichment, outside, even at home, etc., if the child deserves to get a look at by a professional first, because we
mm,
rather eliminate the chance that it could be things like attention deficit disorder. It could be things, eliminate that is not autism, for example. Okay, it is very important to eliminate, because the moment it is not fine, you breathe a sigh of relief. This is a kinesthetic learner, maybe this is a child who has high movement need. But if a child actually is on, let's say, autism spectrum or has high attention deficit, the child actually needs help from a very early age. And the more we sit on it and say, oh, maybe it's not, maybe he's just this or that, and not get it assessed, then the child is losing precious window in the first 6 years. So I would say, yes, there are going to be children who actually have no so-called learning development challenges. They are just high needs in movement. There are, okay, but go and get it assessed to say that it's not, there is not anything that needs further attention. That's fine. I think that would be great, great.
so it's
To things
finding a
to do at the
balance,
parent.
and finding a
Yes,
balance and
yes,
having the peace of mind, and that will cause the parent to be more observant and communicate more with the
yes.
teachers how the child is behaving, right? And you can also really understand your child, that whether he or she is a thinker or a person who is very kinesthetic, really just needs to move.
Yes,
yeah. With that,
all
Regina,
right.
because of my
Mm,
involvement in my champs, I'm
yes,
actually like advising, even giving tips to many parents out there. It is
yes.
almost every day. So when I go to the school, I do see some children who are more active than other children.
Mm,
But it is also my concern that as a parent myself, um, is it okay to label the young champs? I mean, we call them champs, right? In my champs, do we
yes.
label them at such a young age? Is it right, or is there a right or wrong, to label them at such a young
Mm.
age? What is your thought and advice for that?
Okay. So for preschooling age, right, actually I would say that by and large we do not label a condition. There's no there must be a meaning to a label, right? The label
Mm,
may open up access to services,
mm,
subsidized care, etc. But if we are talking about just purely helping the child, we might not need a label. But we do have to look at what are the areas the child need help in. That is the most important. I would advise parents who have sometimes they are concerned about labels and all, right, don't let that hold you back from getting help in the area they need, because you can as a parent advocate for your child. You could say, I don't believe in labor. I can You can give me a rough inclination what this may be about, but I don't want us to label the child yet. All right,
mm.
that's perfectly fine, and that can be a very good practice too. But you must get help for your child in the areas he's struggling on, be it socially, learning, focus, etc. All right, so that is the key. So labor must have a purpose. If there's a purpose, great. If there's no purpose, focus on the area for help.
Focus on the area of help for the child. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but if let's say, we do discover some learning challenges, where should parents go to seek help?
Okay. If there is a strong concern that, I think this is something that deserves that attention, I want to figure out what this is. You could, for example, come to us, which is My Share Like Care, where there is a team of professionals who would assess the child to understand area of needs and help and provide intervention. So that is one approach. You could, if let's say this is something you feel is a very parenting behavior kind of area of needs, or you could, example, go to people like Brenda, who is a parent education coach, right? So I do see that a child can benefit from different type of professional in their life. So think about this as a starting point
Yeah.
for seeking
Yes.
help.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Regina, for sharing your thoughts.
Sure.
I think because due to time constraint, we will not be able to dive deeper into
Yes.
the different milestones and practical tips and all that. We have given a few practical tips upfront and
Yeah.
you're sharing your thoughts. That's very helpful. Brenda, do you have any thoughts to add on regarding preschool years? Based on your experience and exposure to parents.
Yeah.
so many
What Regina has shared is really something that a lot of us as parents for preschoolers may not have noticed. As I reflected, there was one moment where my son actually came to me one day and said, "Mommy, did you know that I had ADHD when I was in primary school?" Then I'm like, "Huh?" I say, why do you say so? Because now that he is more into this psychology, all this, and he understands, he said, yes, as I reflected, I would have been damaged, because you didn't know, right? Then I'm like, serious? I said, that means, thank God, it was not so bad, right? So today you are okay. So things like this can be overcome over the years if they were very mild. Am I right to say that, Regina? So, but people,
Yes, yes.
parents
That's
like me
possibility.
felt guilty. If really it was a damage that has been done because I did not discover it. So I think today your sharing is actually good advice to parents who are wondering yes or no and you don't know whether yes or no. It's good to seek professional help, which I'm very appreciative. And as far as in my chance, we do have parents that are approached by teachers where if there's any concern, our teachers will actually advise them, say, maybe you would like to seek help just to be sure, which is the need. Yeah, which is, yeah. I think that's
Yes.
a very great, very great. I like care really add values to our preschoolers parent. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. I think
Just seek help early, all right? Just seek help early. That will be the key.
yeah, I think also to reinforce what we have discussed earlier, is to approach from a positive direction, spending the quality time so that you can identify,
Yes.
your child's personality, their style, their learning style, yeah, and then therefore able to identify all these red flags along the way. I think if you don't spend quality time with the kids, I think you won't be able to spot all these red flags, right?
Yes.
Maybe is there any link that we can share for Regina that if the parent were to have need any help?
I think you can connect with Regina in the link that was
Oh, okay.
the Facebook page is in the
Okay.
link.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I think you had this My Champs enrichment holiday workshop, right?
Yes.
That's coming
So
up.
for this period, we have a lot of parents that are sending their children to our holiday workshop, which we would like to offer also. Yeah.
Right.
This is the link.
Yeah. And
Um,
also, if you like, we are talking about seeking support and help. So Brenda, you can also check out with Brenda, right? Yeah, she'll be the best person to approach. In terms of the parenting, and parenting and education
yeah.
coach, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. From all the way preschool, 2 months old, all the way to secondary school. And please remember if you are registering for the holiday workshop, because I do offer for today, just have to type in Brenda 20. Brenda 20, and you will get a special 20% saving for the holiday workshop. And do it fast because a lot of workshop has been filled out already. We have actually reached close more than a few hundreds. This time around is like we have to add a lot of classes because I guess every families are not traveling. That's why parents can't wait to send their children for holiday workshop.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the code that they should
Yes,
key in, is it?
yes.
Brenda
You get the
20.
20% saving. Yes, yes,
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay. That's great. That's great. Very value for this program, right? Yeah.
Yes, the holiday workshop. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think thank you, ladies, Regina, especially for setting aside your time to be with us to
Yes,
share your
yes.
thoughts and your expertise. So, Brenda, what are we covering next in the next episode?
Okay, next episode we are talking about still preschool because we will be into the 4 series of preschool, 4 sessions, and we are going to touch on mindsets,
Ah,
values, as well as behaviors in preschool.
yeah.
Yes,
I think we got to start young, right? The
yes,
earlier we
definitely.
start, yeah, the better, because that is what is driving all the behaviors
Yes,
ultimately. So we
yes,
want to address the values and the belief as
yes,
early as possible.
yes.
Okay, so thank you, ladies, and just to do a shout out as well for Women of Courage Asia upcoming, our last session for the month for this year, in fact, for 2020. Yeah, so join us in our monthly empowerment meeting. Right, click on the link below, womenofcourage.asia. It is a free meeting for all women. Oh, sorry, women only. Yeah. So we're creating a safe space for women to come and be inspired and empowered, with the sharing of expertise. So this month we have Nicole, 5-figure bomb, sharing her tips and strategies on her journey of entrepreneurship, as well
Whether
as
whether mommy or single, we are all welcome.
yes, yes. And we also have Beverly. She's a counseling psychologist. So she will be sharing her story of courage. Yeah, appreciate her for being vulnerable and sharing her vulnerability, in this setting. Yeah. So do join us. Click on the link as shown here, right?
Maybe
Right. There are more
before
links. You can
we
connect with us with all the various links in the caption below. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some
Brendan,
more
you're
friends.
saying?
Yeah, we have some more friends before we go say bye bye to them.
Okay.
I saw.
You have Francis. Hi,
Oh,
Francis.
hi! Wow, great supporter.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't skip your lunch or you're having your lunch. Thank you, and
Yes.
Julia, yeah, thank you, Julia.
Okay. So that's all for you for this episode. We will see you again in our next episode. So join us again every Tuesday and
And Thursday,
Thursday at 12:30.
12:30.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you
once
once
again,
again,
Regina.
Regina. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank
Bye.
you.
yeah, we'll hear
Bye.
from you again.